Hi, Celeste in Oz. We're walking down a country road halfway between the little townships of Ichunga and Meadows in the Adelaide Hills. We are walking up to the pine forest and we're going to look for some patches of native bushland. I have created 3 miniature paintings and I'm going to be placing them throughout the bushland up here, and the sun is about an hour and a half away from setting. And it was inspired by a recent trip to very near here along Razorback Road, where I found a teepee. I'll link to it at the end of the video, in this same forest a few weeks back, and it inspired me to create some artwork of my own and leave in the forest for explorers to discover, and they can either leave it there or take it home. And my plan is to do more. I started off with 3 small ones because I wanted to get them done this morning before heading out. The best idea is the one that you follow through on. So let's find a spot to put these owls. Okay, this is the spot for my very first mini owl portrait, and this is the species that I use as my mascot for the channel, the Ninox bubuk, the southern bubuk owl, which is quite common throughout Australia and even is quite happy living in urban areas, and we have a few in the streets around my home. They tend to watch me as I walk around at night, especially when I take my cat on in the harness for a walk around the streets. Yeah. And this little guy might stay there for weeks or months, or who knows. These owls are painted on ceramic fragments of terracotta made locally in Adelaide. In fact, even the clay is quarried locally. And I've primed the surface and then used light fast paint markers for these. Then I sprayed varnish over the top, so the colours should stay bright for quite a while. Now to find a spot for the last 2 owls. They're smaller squares, and rather than the bubuk owl, they are the masked owl, which is much rarer and in fact endangered. In fact, in Victoria it's critically endangered. It's a much bigger owl. It looks like your classic barn owl, but with darker feathers. Beautiful animals they are. I can't find a branch at the right height or a hollow or any little gouge in the wood. I just need something where they'll stay put. Look at these lovely grass trees. Well, it's really low down, but I want them to be found, and we're right by another path here, so hikers should find it during the winter hiking months. They're only tiny, as you can see. What's that, number 3? And we'll jam that in there. So that little masked owl is wedged in place, and hopefully somebody walking along this pathway might just get a surprise. I wonder how likely it is that anyone will find any of these. Well, there's only 3 and it's a big forest. They are all by the pathway though. I'll have to do a lot more. This is fun. I'll do more. I've got some bigger pieces of terracotta. I'll do some bigger portraits when I have a little bit more time. Well, I'll make the time. Yeah, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It's not going to happen unless I make time for it, is it? Finally, I found somewhere for the last owl. I think this is a spotted gum. This is about the perfect size. Okay, so it's gone into the fork of the tree, and we're not far from Rocky Creek Hut either. What really, really lovely bushland. So we're nearly back at Razorback Road. It's beautiful. The mozzies are coming out though. Even if nobody ever notices them, just the fact that I had a very fun time doing it, creating them, and did something that got me into a flow state. So good for the mental health. And there's a tent up there, randomly. Oh, what's this? Look, connecting communities to nature, community events and outdoor learning. Green Adelaide, and with Nature Play SA. My friends at Green Adelaide. I love the birds. Oh, look at what we've got, a boo-book owl on that sign. They must be having some activities over the school holidays. How very cool. Wouldn't it be just the best thing? That something was even better than I could have hoped for. So with those activities going on in this forest, which I didn't even know about, there's a high likelihood that a child will discover those owls. I hope so. Wouldn't that be fantastic? And I'm so glad I did them in bright colours now.